for the Marvel Minute. Welcome. We're going to spend a little bit longer than a minute, as usually my videos are, because we're going to look at a variety of Marvel cards from the 90s. I've got a stack here that I acquired that I want to show off and talk about with all of you live there in the stream. If you're watching the recording afterwards, well, you got to subscribe and ring the bell and to turn on notifications and all that good stuff so that you'll be alerted to when we go live. Well, for the moment, let's start to look at some of these cards. So this is from Marvel 1992, which I believe is Series 3. This really takes me back, this just beautiful art from Marvel back in the 90s. All right, so this is Shadowcat. We've got the, Kitty Pryde as her Shadowcat incarnation. And what was so amazing about these cards, of course, was the power rankings. These ratings were just amazing. I loved these. From a scale of 1 to 7, and then we rate strength, intelligence, energy projection, mental powers, fighting ability, and speed. So Shadowcat is strongest in intelligence and fighting ability, but least in energy projection and mental powers. Then we get a little bit about her, a quote, real name, first appearance, and so forth. So yeah, Shadowcat. Here's Longshot. His stats are here. He's very, very good at fighting ability. That's a 5. First appeared in the Longshot Limited Series 1985, art by Arthur Adams. And so here we've got Longshot in the 90s. We've got the teams, we've got Excalibur. So how many of these can you name? I'll give you a moment to look at this. All right, so we got Shadowcat, Lockheed, Nightcrawler, Circe, Megan, Captain Britain, Phoenix, and the two ones over here that we never remember. Can we have them listed over here? Not really. That's funny that it doesn't list who the members of the team are on the actual card, just the team leader, first appearance, and such. Interesting. All right, so next up we've got Team Ups, Ghost Rider and Daredevil. This looks, yeah, it's Mark Tech's art. I could see that right away. And we've got Daredevil, Ghost Rider, both looking really tough, and this happened in 1991. Daredevil number 295. Milestones, Days of Future Past, the classic story of the what-if future of the X-Men. And it's very interesting to think that back then these events were just one or two issues long. This was an Uncanny X-Men 141 to 142, and that's it. Nowadays we've got multi-issue crossovers in a variety of titles, and you got to get all 80 books to understand the whole plot. But here it's just one and done in 2 issues. Just an iconic bit of art there when I first got these cards back in the day. We've got Feral as one of the superheroes. I always thought her hair was very interesting. So it's fun how they made her very, very furry all over the place here. And then the rest of the teammates in the back. You play games with me, boys. You better play for keeps. X-Force number 2, 1991. Debuting in New Mutants 100 in April 91. So her best powers are her strength. That's a 4. No energy projection and mental powers. So turning away from the subterranean Morlock society that had nurtured her, Feral returned to the surface world to join the superhero team X-Force in its continuing fight against the prejudice and evil. The prejudice and evil. Okay, Kree versus Skrull War. So this is one of the big events, of course. Another early crossover event that didn't take 90 issues. We've got some Ron Lim art on that one. This happened between issues 88 and 97. So, okay, there's about 10 issues to get this storyline across compared to nowadays that we've got so many issues. And this was way back. Well, actually, this is noted from June 71 to February 82. Was this at the time when these were being published bi-monthly? Because 10 issues would have been 1 year or so. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense with the math. I don't know math. I remember this art so much. I loved it back in the day. There was just something about Megan's powers that really stood out to me as a youngster. way back in 1992. Was that already 30 years ago? Wow, time flies. All right, so Megan's got a fighting ability of 3 as the highest. She debuted way back in New Mutants Annual number 2, October 86. I like this dream. It's worth fighting for. And that's her, that's from the special edition number 1 in 88. Quasar. I always liked the art on this one because of the sort of star field that he's got in his cape. Whoa, he's so powerful. Speed is a 7. And then energy projection a 6. Fighting ability of 4, and then the rest. First appearance in Captain America 217 in 1978. I'm not sure I have what it takes to protect the whole darn cosmos, but if I'm the one you want for the job, I'll do my best to do it. Quasar number 2 in 89. Captain America and Nomad. Remember that amazing team up? This was before the recent Winter Soldier, Bucky, all that stuff, because back in the day, Captain America and Nomad and Bucky and all of that is kind of interesting going on. And then, let's see, during the 50s, a substitute Captain America replaced the missing one, and Jack Monroe was his sidekick. After awakening from 30 years of cryogenic hibernation, Jack discovered his partner dead and the original Captain very much alive. Jack donned the costume of Nomad. Is that really a costume? To save Cap from a deadly trap and join forces with him to stop the villainous Viper from spreading the Black Plague across the world. This was back in 82. Havoc. Greatest power is energy projection. First appearance, X-Men 54 in 1969, way back in the 60s. How many of you realize that? I really feel he was a 90s character, so I don't really think of him as being invented way back in the 60s. Where I come from, we learned self-defense alongside reading, writing, and arithmetic. Havoc and Wolverine Limited Series number 1, 88. Alpha Flight Team. I love this incarnation of their outfits. The maple leaf, the red and white of the Canadian flag. It's Department H in Toronto. We've got Guardian in their first appearance in 79. Warlock, Adam Warlock at this time in the 90s. He's been around since, the 60s or the 70s, I guess. But I really feel him as a 90s character, especially after Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Crusade. And then, of course, Ron Lim, to me, really defined him. First appearance, here we go, back in 1967, Fantastic Four, when he was known as Him. And he first appeared in a cocoon thing. Wow, look at his powers. Speed a 7, mental power 7, energy projection 7, strength 5, intelligence only 3, and fighting only 3. Sleepwalker, this was Marvel's answer to Sandman. I remember reading about how Marvel was saying, yeah, Sandman's too boring, we got a better one for you kids. And I think that's, is that Barry Windsor Smith or Bill Sienkiewicz art? That signature looks very familiar. So we've got, as of this moment, his real name is unrevealed. He debuted in Sleepwalker number 1, 1991. I am a sleepwalker, and for me there is no rest. In issue number 12 is where he says that amazing missive. His powers, kind of an interesting array of powers. The strongest is energy projection. Oh yeah, Captain America himself by Ron Lim, Terry Austin. Beautiful. This one is an early, it's 37, I guess. But hey, is that the same art that we have on the one of Nomad? I never realized that if they did the same art on a few different pieces. Yeah, that's the same art right there. Rip off. I want original art all the time. Well, we get a larger one on the Cap and Nomad, slightly larger. Anyway, so this is Steve Rogers, Captain America, debuting way back in 1941 to fight them Nazis. And after the super soldier serum, he increased his intelligence to 3, his speed to 3, his fighting ability a perfect specimen, and then the rest is right there. So, yep. And I got the checklist right here. We'll come back to that one in a moment. We'll look at a few before we wrap up the video for today. Which one do we want to see? Well, what I really liked was the Cosmic Beings section of the Marvel 92 cards. Here we have Eternity. I just loved this art, and it was amazing to see a perfect sevens here, except for fighting ability. I guess it's a pacifist. First appearance in Strange Tales 138. 1965, I am eternity, heed my message and remain silent, for none may speak when I am present. And that was his first appearance. No being inspires as much awe and wonder as the mysterious eternity, the being who is no less than the living embodiment of all things. Imperious and aloof, with powers beyond human measure and understanding, Eternity's very existence is known only to a handful of the most powerful beings in the universe, like us, today here in the live stream. We are the ones that know of the majesty and the glory of Eternity. So, thanks for coming to hang out in this live stream for the Marvel Minute. Obviously, 11 times more than 1 minute, but thanks for coming to the stream, and I hope that you subscribe and ring the bell and all that good stuff so that you will be alerted next time once we go live and look at some cool Marvel stuff. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you in the next video.